What's up, my precious little pack, and welcome back to ARK Survival Evolved. It's been a while since we've had this on the channel, but it's time to bring it back, and we're going to kick it off with a brand new character. And this may be a one video per week series that I do for it. Well, not really series, just random moments for the most part, but I figure we'll kick it off and I'll play for around an hour or two, on and off, see what I can get done. Also going to be playing some Supreme Commander and stuff like that later, and I need to talk about... yeah, delete the previous one. And I want to talk a little bit about Vega conflict and how it's been going lately. Now, nothing's going to be new in-game. The graphics are still the same, more or less, as before. It's going to look glitchy and laggy until I can get some upgrades for the computer, more so than I already do. But first off, there's a few things I want to talk about in Vega, and the reason I'm talking about it here is because I wanted to play ARK today, so I had to update it. First off, let me just explain why I'm playing it. I was asked if I would be bringing it back to the channel. I've had intention of bringing it back, except for I haven't gotten around to it. The reason it's back now is because I had to deal with updates. Now, it didn't want to update very easily or very, very nicely. No, not by a long shot. Not even close. Here's what I had to deal with. First off, the game was slightly glitched. And I don't mean like, okay, it's just a simple configure a file or do something like that and you're good. No. I wish it was that simple, because that would have been very, very, very easy. I had to delete and reinstall the entire game. Now, what could have possibly caused that? Any number of things. For corruption files, something going wrong in between one patch and the next update, and when I scanned it, it said that it was alright, it just couldn't update. Now, it got real funny, because it wouldn't update at all. Now, I play it through Steam. Well, some games I play through Steam, some games I play through the browser, some games I play through just about any number of things. ARK, though, I update through Steam. Now, when it didn't want to update, I figured, okay, let's just validate the game's files, and it should be just fine. Not quite. That isn't how it went at all. Instead, what I got was a headache. Trying to validate the files for the update, and after the update had failed the first two times, I tried to figure out why. There's two separate installations of ARK overlapping one another, and I tried to figure out why. So I go open up the ARK files, and I go into the game folder, and I see that there is 3 separate ARK, well, individually set up ARK installations. First one, ARK. That was the game. Second one, ARK 0. Open that up, and it was the game again. Third one was an empty file. Now, the reason they couldn't install was because the directory was installing directly to the ARK file. Well, to the ARK installation location, except for that was the problem. It was installed in all 3 locations, and so it couldn't install it because it was in each place. So after fighting with it for about 25 minutes, I decided I'd go down the uninstall and reinstall path. First off, uninstalled it, and it uninstalled both variations that were fully installed. So it cleared up 250 something gigabytes when the game currently is only around 130. And another part of the problem during the update, after I got past the initial part for it not being verified and validated, this was just hilarious. It said there was no space on the hard drive. This is very hilarious, and the reason is because there was over 239 gigabytes before the uninstallation and reinstallation of the game. So uninstalled it, went up towards 500 and stuff like that because it was a little bit over half when I set it up the first time. Now, it's currently sitting at 200 because I was actually uninstalling and reinstalling other games because I also want to play some other stuff. But the main thing I want to do is ARK. And something I need to do to help with a little bit of a jitter bug, I need a little bit more RAM, because as you can see when I look back and forth, it should come clear. It should come through crystal clear, yeah, in the recording. That the game is twitching and lagging, because I mean just walking by that's glitching. And if I stand still, everything glitches a little bit. Definitely need to upgrade a few things to say the least. But for now, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to power on through. The main thing I need though is to focus on maintaining video output. So after I've dealt with all of the ARK and stuff like that, I'm going to be uploading a little bit more regularly, but I may drop down the quality of this video and actually I'm going to do that now. I'm going to drop down the quality of the video real quick, everybody. I'll be right back. Should greatly improve the playability as well as the recording. Well, not the recording. The recording's going to turn to garbage, trust me. But that's kind of what happens when you have a overall good PC with a drag me down lower than average, an older processor with RAM that I need more, and I need a slightly higher speed for it. Let's just leave it at that. But I'll bring y'all back in just one moment. And welcome back. Okay, now it's running much more smoothly for me. Hopefully the video doesn't get worse. And the quality shouldn't actually drop down too much. You shouldn't see any glitches or anything like that. So overall, it should actually stay around the same. I'll just be able to play the game a little bit more smoothly like this. But let me just go ahead and let's just grab the pants. I just need some hide, so I need a few of these boys. And I'm going to edit this, I'm going to chop it up so it's not going to be some 20-minute video. It may only be 5 minutes or 3 minutes, just depends on how long I talk and what I talk about. Okay, now I'm actually going to get to the Vega stuff. In Vega, I'm going to be starting a small series called the Advancement Series. The sole objective of it will be to help new players, low-level players, use researchable technology to achieve the first tier of blueprints, which will then allow you to begin farming high-level AI fleets. The objective of that will be simply just to allow you to advance as quickly as we do, us higher-level players. And the goal of it will be to allow everyone to get to the same tier in a certain time frame. The time frame I still have yet to establish because I still have yet to produce the low-level fleets that will be used. And it's going to be a very, very, very interesting time for me to be playing it because it will be the first time I've done a series like that. Typically, I just make the videos that you all know and love. Well, you don't have to love them, you just know them. And what I intend on doing is slowly helping everybody get to the higher tech. Because I want everybody to be at the same tech that I'm at. And I don't want everybody to have to fight for it either, like, oh hey look, I grind it out for 6 hours a day. Because I know some of you can't actually do that. Some of you have jobs and school and stuff like that. And I try to keep the time frames that I set up on my schedules for as minimal as possible. For 6 hours a day during the last event, I was able to advance, but some of you may not have 6 hours a day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully think of a time frame per day that a player will be able to play possibly 1 hour, so in that hour I have to set up to see just how much I could farm and everything like that to advance. But I'm going to start making up the series and I'm going to start putting it together. I'm going to see just how far I can get it to go. And I really want to help everybody advance. I want everybody to be the tier I'm at, and that is currently tier 6.5. I do have the tier 7 stuff, but I can't build it yet because I have to upgrade, as you all know. And I don't intend on giving up in the game. I intend on actually working, and I'm actually going to host a few daily events. And yes, I say daily because I'll actually come up with them on a daily basis, and I'll let you guys join me when I make them. And the sole objective of these videos won't be to grind or anything like that, but I'll make the daily events and I'll post a video up about them and where I'm going to be at. So if you guys can join me if I'm in your sector already, you'll be able to join me and you'll be able to be in the videos. Along with that, we'll also be able to have a good time, and the reward will most likely be resources, not through base hits, but I'll tear open a few fleets afterwards when we decide the winner. And that's more or less how it'll go, and it'll mostly be farming. We'll see who can use what to farm what without coining. And yes, even coiners will be allowed to play, because the event will be for everybody. And it's not to just simply exclude them just because they coin. No, I want them to be able to play too. But the first event that I thought of actually came from the idea while I was playing last night, well, very early this morning, with Toxic Bait. Me and him were playing around with low-level fleet versus fleet, and we were doing 1v1. And what that means is it's not one fleet versus one fleet, it's one ship versus one ship. And the simple goal of that was just to establish, well, just to have fun. There wasn't anything to establish. But in the near future, what I'll do is I'll set up a time frame and I'll tell everybody this is what we're going to be doing, this is where we're going to be farming, and this is how it's going to go. And at the end of it, I'll open up X number of fleets for everybody. So even the people who lose will get a little bit of something. What they get, though, depends on how much gets farmed up in total. And the event will mostly, and the little daily events that I'll host will mostly be farming events. They'll be related to Rancor builds, longbow builds, Corvettes, and yes, one of my favorite things that I actually do is it'll be small little Corvette wars. Corvette wars will be essentially take your best fitting for a Corvette and put it up against your best enemy fleet. And at the end of it, what I'll do is I'll choose 3 people. First, second, and third. First person I'll open, well, I'll more or less destroy and pick apart the beginning portion of enough fleets for the player to open up and use and have. Well, I'll help them collect, by opening the fleets up, at least 10 million in resources. And that's not 10 million of resources total, that's 10 million of each. That's 10 million antimatter, ore, and helium-3. And it won't be something that I'll just skip out on and just ditch in the future, because I actually think it would be fun. It would give everyone a break from the daily grind. I know how important the daily grind is, everybody, but even I needed a break, and I knew that last night whilst I was farming, and that's exactly what I did. I took a break by playing with Toxic. But I'll see how it goes, and I'll see how you all think of the idea and whatnot. And I'll go from there for the most part. But if you guys actually like the idea, say so below for me so I know for sure. If you don't, let me know why you don't like it, and I can possibly think of a way to improve it so you would like it. First off, no one would be excluded. Like I said, everybody would be able to play, but there would be certain fleet restrictions. So I would watch, it would be one person attacking at a time. We'd keep track of who attacks what and who has the fastest time, the fastest amount of everything. And the person that has the overall fastest time in combat with the lowest damage with a low-level fleet against high-level targets, depending on the target type, they'll be rewarded with the resources I was talking about. And the sole objective of this is to allow high-level players to play with low-level players on an equal tier, except for we won't be fighting each other. We'll be farming AI fleets in a very, very large amount. And the goal won't be to show everybody or to put low levels down or anything like that. No, no, no. It'll literally be just to farm, show off your fleets, and win something in turn for it that isn't up to Kixeye. So if I say I'll get you X number of this resource, I'll get you X number of that resource, hands down. And as for the prizes in total, I still have yet to think of exactly what they could be. But I don't think it should be that hard to think of the prizes aside from resources. And second, I'll be taking care of the clan a little bit more closely and paying more attention to it. So anybody who wants to join the clan, feel free to send one. In the next video, at the beginning of the video, what I'll do is I'll open up in Vega. I'll show off the clan name and everything like that, so everyone knows where they can join at. And the sole goal will just be, as I said, to allow you guys entry, and the objective of the clan will be simple. I want to help you guys get to a better place, whether it be another person's clan that has plenty more skill and stuff like that, or if you're just looking for people to talk to. We got plenty of people that are on a daily basis. Well, we will once I'm done with what I have. But I wanted to let everybody know all of these things ahead of time, so that when I actually do this stuff, it doesn't just pop off as a surprise that, oh, I just did this out of the blue. But I'll be hosting daily events of my own. As for the prizes and stuff, there'll be resources. I just have to think of exactly what the people have to fight per group to be able to get the resources. Shouldn't be that hard though, and I think it should be quite fun for everybody involved because it's low repair time for everybody. Even coiners can enjoy that just because they don't have to pay for a repair for once. But again, it'll be only using tier 1 ships, using the initial 5 ships. Your corvette, your battleship, your destroyer, and your cruiser, along with your frigate. So the best fittings will be the ones that are rewarded, and the simple idea is you have to destroy X number of fleets in a certain time frame, and one person will go at a time so we can keep very easy track of them. And at the end of it, the person with the best time for destroying the fleets will be awarded the prize. And the prize being, as I said, resources that will be opened up for you. And depending on the amount of farming that is done, we'll try and keep the events to a 30-minute time frame just to ensure that everybody isn't being tied up for an absurd amount of time just for a tiny event that runs. We'll probably do this at least once a week. But if you like the idea, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you actually support the idea, or if you think it could be better, and also let me know how it could be better if you think it could be better. Because I also need to know that type of thing so I know whether it is a hit or a miss in regards to whether it would be popular by the player base or if it would be shunned by the player base. And as for the ARK series playthroughs and more, they will be coming back. Oh, and yes, there will be certain aspects to the game that I partake in a little bit more frequently. First off, I typically don't talk in chat in-game in Vega just because I'm typically either busy doing something else, but I do read it, just like I read the comments section. And for the person that said yesterday, sorry I didn't catch your name, I just quickly read your comment like I do for most of them. But yours should be the most recent comment. For you saying you have an idea to try and save Vega, I don't mind that you want to try and save the game, but the company that runs the game is the problem. It's not actually the player base. The player base is leaving due to the company's actions. We only stay in games that we can find entertaining for long durations of time, but when we can't be entertained by a game for a long duration of time, we leave. When a game becomes too tedious, we leave. And along with bringing back other games, I'm going to be bringing back classic strategy games, such as Command & Conquer, Total Annihilation. And yes, I'm going to try and actually fight the computer to record Total Annihilation, because that is one of my favorite games right after Command & Conquer. And a few of you may or may not know the game, but it's essentially a 3D game back from 1997. with the main goal of you destroying your enemy's commander. You are that commander, though. You're essentially a robot. You build other robots, you build plants, you build your base. It's... Overall, out of every game that I missed that the series have slowly struggled and changed, I missed Total Annihilation's feel. It came all the way through to Planetary Annihilation, which was the most recent game. And I haven't heard much or anything about other games that are like it, but overall, it is one of my favorite games in terms of gameplay. Command & Conquer in terms of basic strategy. And it could be a lot of fun if I actually bring them to the channel. So again, let me know what all of you think below. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. So if you like this video, bleh, apparently I can't speak. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. It really helps. And as always, everybody, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.